Chip's diagnosis with a brain tumor. He was 13. He's 27.
Yeah.
And what's supposed to make it to 14. Since that time, we've been to 25 of the 50 states on some sort of adaptive something. Either a special tag that allowed for an out-of-season hunt, which Georgia has, or the ability to shoot out of a vehicle, or the state of Iowa has a specific type of deer blind, and we have our action track chairs. And everybody state-wise has got a program. What we find with these programs is no matter how well thought out it is, and everybody wants to do their best, there's an adaptation required. Always. Kim, we talked about how you shoot. And we talked about the trigger that you got coming, I forgot the name, Max.
Yes, sir.
I didn't forget. From North Dakota. All of these things are things that you just have to do. And sometimes, well, you just can't find your thing, so you just have to make it. And tell them about the chip shop.
So,
how did it happen? When did it happen? Why did it happen?
It originally happened when I was pretty sick, so I had to relearn to eat. And we were at, what's that place called?
Marcus
Center.
Center.
Marcus Center, and there was I don't even know what he was, some kind of fabricator person.
Pull over here while you're talking. This fellow was, he rode up and down the elevator with Chip every day, and Chip had camo on every day.
Yeah.
And the guy was an MIT engineer, and we were there for 30 days trying to learn how to swallow wood. And he just couldn't stand it. He asked Chip, you know, what's the camo, man? Are you in the outdoors? And at that time, Chip was trying to get back into school and get on his high school shooting team. And he told the fella that, and he said, well, how do you shoot at that time? He couldn't really lift his arms. And he said, well, come on down to my shop. The guy had this full machine shop. And just in about 2 hours, they built this that day.
Out of these trash cans.
This is a piece of office furniture mullion. This is a computer monitor screen that has a spring adjustment in it. The heavier the gun, the tighter you can make the screen, and this thing will almost float. So some of y'all's stuff about not being able to move it as much, there's a wider range of motion here, and they fabricated it to go right into the wheelchair. It's
Sometimes it's tough paying them numbers, you know what?
we don't cuss ever when we're dealing with it because you know that'd be bad luck. But we have been frustrated with it. But this has been to most of those places. And I just point this out because, like you, Ken, you've had to adapt. Whatever that device is, I'm sure it didn't come out of the box and do exactly what it needed to do for you. Just like what y'all have had to do didn't come out of the box and do what you had to do for you. But what you find in this community is where there's a will, there's a way, and there is a willing group of volunteers to do a little fabricating for you, to go across town and get whatever you need. So I'd say this is our primary gadget, and we hadn't figured out how to go into production yet. But just simple things, put that together.
Now this is, I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with it.
Max uses this, right?
It's a bog pod death grip. So this holds the gun and, you know, clamps the gun, and literally you can leave it sit there.
Is that how y'all use it? You fix your area, and then probably the limit for y'all being able to use it is how much the chair can move.
Yes, sir.
But it'll move and gives you whatever range of motion you need. And in these blinds today, the blinds are plenty big enough for 3 people and something like this. We've got a couple of extras of these things, so if you want to use them, They certainly fit in the blind, and, you know, it's an extra hand, it's a third hand. Simple stuff, commercial stuff, enables a lot. We've used this Primos trigger stick. We like the tripod. It goes on uneven terrain. And Chip, why don't you put that down where you would want to shoot it. That went to West Virginia bear hunting, and it adapted quickly for that terrain. And you know, it's in any sporting goods store, but it really does change the game for anybody with mobility issues.
This is just another chip shot that we made, a second one, but he has another chair that has a single mount instead of the double mount.
But once again, local fabricators pitching in, hey, we can find a way to make that work.
So we like Googled where we could find another one of these armchairs, bought it off of Amazon, one of these.
Which is a very significant vision issue. So this is I have a Tacticam in here, but this is called the FTS now. So this little plastic piece slides on your scope, and I have 5 different sizes for it, you know, any different scope. And you slide this on, this you're looking down through the scope, but then this top is where the Tacticam actually slides in and tightens, so it's a mirror to see what you see through the scope. And then the Tacticam Bluetooth to your phone or iPad or whatever, so you can see what I'm seeing. Now, it's not like he's looking and aiming, but it's easier for me, since I don't see well, for him to get it relatively in the right spot on the deer, and then I can put it where it needs to go to get the job done.
So that's an adaptive aid that we've done just because of his specific situation with low vision. But you know, if there's a will, there's a way.